Right, welcome. Let me just send out the links to everyone, and then we shall dive into it. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay. Yeah, just give me 2 seconds, guys, and then we can dive straight into it. Uh, don't need that. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so yeah, EU CPI out in 25 minutes. Okay, so we're going to get some nice movement. We're already getting movement. Dollar's already strengthening. Bitcoin's already coming down. So yeah, let's see whether we can catch something. Now, yesterday we caught some beautiful longs just from down here on this move up. Okay, cashed out just here, just before going to bed. Obviously, waking up, it went for another leg higher. I'm now seeing a nice pullback, obviously ahead of this EU CPI. Yeah, it's looking. I mean, the dollar index is looking very, very strong. So it wouldn't surprise me if it breaks through and continues making its move up. Da, 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 da. Now, just bear in mind, guys. I mean, today is the big day for data. Obviously, we got EU CPI coming out, 24 minutes, and then we get a whole load of US data. So we get jobless claims, PCE prices, GDP. Yeah, that's where a lot of movement is going to come in. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be a relatively busy day today. So make sure you're attentive to what's going on. Those that are just joining us, welcome to the live stream. Feel free to message us in the chat with anything that you want us to go over. But yeah, see what we can get. Things are looking quite nice. I mean, things are looking quite weak. So see if we can get continuation to the downside. Um, yeah. Yep.
That is Jens Stoltenberg, NATO Secretary General, speaking to Francine Lacqua on Bloomberg Television. So we heard there his perspective on NATO, on Finland and Sweden joining NATO and the prospects to get their membership ratified. And he talked
See whether we can get a nice break.
about that as well. But I'm also saying during that conversation that that NATO does see signs that China is considering giving arms to Russia. Of course, another angle of the Ukraine story that we're watching very closely in this one.
Okay, let's get you caught up with the rest of the top stories of the day then. Federal Reserve officials expect more rate hikes will be needed to curb inflation. News from the central bank's meeting 3 weeks ago. Members of the FOMC believe restrictive rates need to be maintained until price rises are on a quote sustained downward path. The New York Fed President John Williams says it's critical that policymakers remain committed to their 2% inflation goal.
Price stability is, in fact, the foundation of economic prosperity. Without price stability, all of the other goals that we have, whether maximum employment or low and stable or low interest rates, can't be accomplished. So that's an absolute imperative for us.
That was the New York Fed President John Williams. According to the minutes, only a few officials supported a 50-point hike at the last meeting.
Apollo is in talks to inject $750 million to support First Boston, Credit Suisse's much publicized investment banking spin-off. Bloomberg understands the asset manager's commitment may be matched by Credit Suisse itself, giving First Boston roughly $1.5 billion in capital.
Okay, so may as well go over a little bit on Bitcoin structure. So again, came down to its most recent range that it's building up on. As you can see, tested that 100. Now the Fed minutes meeting yesterday again came in as expected, nothing unchanged. Okay, yeah, rates going to be held higher for longer. And they're going to continue with rate increases. Okay, it's literally nothing has been changed. They haven't come in any more hawkish than what they have been coming in. So yeah, markets obviously by the end of that meeting obviously started to rally back up. So yeah, range kind of at midpoint. So could come down, rebound back up. I'm not seeing a great deal of movements until that US data comes out a bit later on today. That's where majority of movement will happen. So, yeah, expect volatility today. Next week, I'm pretty sure we're pretty clear for data next week. It's the week after that it becomes a busier week. I'm pretty sure we get non-farm payrolls coming in. I think it's like 2nd of March or something. So yeah, that's your next big data point is non-farm payrolls. Obviously, the previous non-farm payrolls came in at 517k. Huge number. Okay, so yeah, markets are definitely going to keep their eyes on for that one.
Suggest there is a widening salary divide between black and white staff. HSBC, Santander UK, NatWest and Barclays say in their pay gap reports that the disparities for black employees reflect the fact that they tended to be in more junior, lower paying roles.
Okay, those are our top stories this morning. Let's turn now to one of our top interviews on Bloomberg. Bruce Flatt runs one of the largest investment management firms in the world. Brookfield has more
Yeah, let's see whether we can get continuation to the downside now.
under management. Based in Toronto, the firm has become a major global player in
This is looking good to come down.
especially since spinning off 25% of earlier this year. An exclusive interview with our editor-at-large Francine Lacqua. Bruce Flatt said that good investing is all about buying quality
Yep.
over time.
Our playbook is pretty simple. We buy great assets in great places and invest for the long term. And those big themes of decarbonization in the
Right, 17 minutes out from the EU CPI figure. Okay, so we should start to see things begin to move. By the looks of the forecasts, they're expecting no change. Core CPI to be coming in exactly the same, and headline CPI to come in slightly higher by 0.1%, so relatively unchanged as well. So yeah, I guess we shall see shortly. Again, guys, feel free to touch base with us in the chat if you want us to go over anything, or you maybe got your eyes on something. Yeah, let us know. I'm more than happy to check it out, go over it. Doesn't need to be crypto, can be FX, equities, stocks, commodities. That is all good. Now we are looking. Well, we're in short on oil. So if you want to join in, come join in. Seeing some nice structure. Expecting we're looking hopefully 72.5. That would be nice. Gotta break through this level first. I am new in this ID. How can I use this ID? I'm not too sure what you mean by that. So if you can clarify, do you mean you're new to trading? You want to find out how you can trade, or you're looking for a broker? Is that what you mean? If so, let me know. By the way, guys, thank you for the follows and likes as well on the stream. Very much appreciated. Hopefully we can get some movement starting to give us something. Kadian, how you doing? Hello. Welcome to the stream. Feel free to message us anything in the chat, any TA that you want us to go over. Make yourself at home. Obviously, EU CPI is in 13 minutes, so we'll see what we can get. In terms of trades, we are short on oil, so let's see kind of if it can continue breaking down. If not, I mean, it's definitely going to push right back up. So yeah, I guess we'll see. What indicators do I use? So keep it nice and simple, as you can see from the chart. Moving averages, your volume indicators. Now I do use a stochastic RSI as well as an accumulation distribution. Now I don't really mainly or majorly use those two indicators. Right, they're just really for confirmation. Apart from that, it's really just price action, supply and demand zone. So like your order blocks, your trend lines, your fibs. Yeah, that's about it. It's nice and simple. There's no need to overcomplicate an already complicated situation. So yeah, nice and simple, nice and simple. Hopefully we can get some movement. We're about 11 minutes away from that EU CPI. Yeah, I'm expecting it to still come in high, so hopefully we can get a nice push and breakout through this high here on the dollar, which should start to bring crypto down. Now, I'm very much trading this short term. I'm not messing about really. Hopefully I can just get in and out and then hold off ahead of the US data coming out a bit later on, because I mean it's always very unpredictable, kind of these reports and how the market is going to react to it. So yeah, sometimes it's just better to not trade the news as such, especially on crypto. Crypto becomes a lot more volatile on US data. So yeah, in and out, then hold off, see kind of what happens in terms of the US data that comes out a bit later on, and then we'll kind of assess the situation, see whether it's advisable to enter the market at that point. But yeah, I mean, this week has been fantastic, to be fair. I mean, yesterday was great. The end was amazing. Like I said, we caught this move up here. This nice pump, closed the trades off, went to bed in profit, and yeah, we woke up. Obviously, it kind of went for its next push up, and now kind of retracing. So, yeah, we just trade session to session. But yeah, yesterday was good. So we'll see what we can get today. But yeah, we do also need to be very careful with this finding support quick and pushing back up. So yeah, ideally just want to be in and out nice and quick. Don't want no faffing around here. Push down here, get out here maybe, and let it push back up. Okay, so earlier you mentioned you feel BTC will go short. At the minute, it's ranging. What indicator do you have for short, please? Okay, it's not necessarily an indicator. Okay, it's understanding the overall structure of the market, kind of what you should be expecting in terms of news. Now, understanding the overall market sentiment, obviously, risk on assets are very, very much data dependent. Especially Bitcoin's very much data dependent. EU CPI is a large data report, right? And we should be expecting it more than likely to come in hotter, which should push the dollar index up and bring risk on assets down, right? So what I'm looking for, obviously, we are in a range. Yes, that is correct. Now I'm just looking at a nice quick short. I'm not interested in. I'm not expecting it to break and come all the way down. Still expecting it to continue to range within this range. Okay. Also bearing in mind the fact that there is US data coming out a bit later on, so you got important US data, which is basically kind of the more important side of things for today, which again should push this up. Again, depends on what PC prices come in at, but yeah, should see a little bit of strength. I mean, the dollar index is looking very, very strong. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to get a bit of a pullback here. Hopefully, we can get a nice pullback between this 382, this point 0.5, roughly, maybe the 618. There's a bit of structure there. And that should bring markets down. We'll cash in on a nice quick short, and then just wait for structure again. And then just play it from bottom to top in the range. So if it comes down here, rebounds, goes back up. Yeah, just play the range. The range is whenever prices are within a range, it gives you that structure to play around with. Then you just look at, okay, what's the data that I'm expecting? If I'm expecting data to come out today, markets are going to set up for that data. Now, again, as mentioned, it's not kind of the best situation to trade news, especially in crypto. That's why we kind of mix it up and we trade FX as well as commodities, equities, all that sort of stuff, because you can trade the news a bit nicer on that side of things. Whereas Bitcoin, it's all over the place. So yeah, we'll trade the EU CPI, but then after that we'll probably just end up holding off and waiting for that US data to come in, and then again assess the situation and go from there.
After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Live in London on DAB Digital Radio. To Bloomberg 1130 in New York, Bloomberg 99.1 in Washington, Bloomberg 1061 Boston, Bloomberg 960 San Francisco, the Bloomberg Business app, and Bloomberg.com. This is Bloomberg Daybreak Europe.
Welcome back to Daybreak Europe, everyone. Good morning to you. I'm Stephen Carroll. Our colleagues in the US are getting ready for Daybreak US.
So 4 minutes out from this CPI. So let's see what we can get. Okay, should be nice. Again, bear in mind we have taken a short here, and we have taken a short here as well. Okay, so let's see if we can get a nice break. This has got a little bit of buy side coming in and a nice kind of candle, so just needs to be careful on this one. Stop loss is relatively tight, so the risk is kind of minimal. Now you could also look at a Matic short. We were looking at sending this out. So I mean, yeah, you got some options. You definitely got some options, and I mean, a little bit of volatility is coming in now, just ahead, just before this CPI figure. So let's see. Well explained. Thank you very much for asking the question, mate. Always a pleasure.
Pricing is there to come for the Fed's hiking path into the second half. We'll get more on the minutes from Bloomberg's Valerie Teitel. She's going to be with us in the next few minutes. Plus reaction and a Fed forecast live from Tom Porcelli, chief economist at RBC Capital Markets, will join us as we continue gathering FOMC minutes reaction, Stephen.
We're also, of course, getting closer to a year since Russia began its invasion of the Ukraine. How will you be covering the geopolitics?
Well, we're watching for a symbolic focus.
So yeah, let's see what we can get here, guys. Hopefully we can break down. Be nice. Here goes the dollar.
Putin's decision to pull out of the New START nuclear arms treaty. President Biden calls that a big mistake, but at the same time, he's trying to play down any worries that this could mean a nuclear threat is on the table in Ukraine. We've got Bloomberg government reporter Jack Fitzpatrick with us from the nation's capital, where the president
Right, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
And she'll also be talking to you in the next hour.
Yeah, what a great story she's got tonight.
Just got to be careful of the quick rebound. Okay, so like be on things on job.
Into money management in the UK. It's not just a UK story. This is about getting more diverse voices, more diverse leadership into the financial sector. As I know you've been covering, Caroline spoke with Dame Helena Morrissey of the Diversity Project about her plan to double the number of women in fund management within 3 years, though that would still keep women in a minority when it comes to those leadership roles. We're going to carry that piece for our U.S. listeners, and we're going to talk more with Caroline about what it's going to take to crack through that thick glass ceiling in UK finances. Coming up for you on Bloomberg Daybreak.
Yeah, it's an absolutely fascinating report, and the conversations around it. Definitely a really interesting listen coming up, along with everything else that you're covering for us. Daybreak US with Carl Moscow and Nathan Hager coming up in the next hour here on Bloomberg Radio. Let's take a look at some of the most read stories on the terminal this morning. Of course, keeping a close eye on how markets are moving as we're seeing US futures losing power this morning. Also, plenty of interest in those stories of covering the Fed minutes as the Fed inclined towards more hikes to curb inflation. There's also a story, too, really interesting one, given that we're talking about the anniversary of the Russian.
Okay, so it comes in at 5.3, which is a higher.
Support for Putin's war within Russia.
Yeah,
The Kremlin is confident the country is ready to keep fighting.
let's see.
On how public
Give markets a little bit of time to digest.
past year as well. So those are some of the stories that you are reading on the Bloomberg terminal this morning. For our London audience, Bloomberg Surveillance Early Edition is up next, and for listeners in the US and elsewhere, Bloomberg Daybreak starts.
I mean, yeah. So figures coming in a little bit higher. Obviously, again, relatively unchanged. So yeah, obviously not getting that instant reaction. So we'll give it a little bit of time. Give the markets a little bit of time to digest the figure, and then we'll get kind of the truer direction as to where things are going. Now, do bear in mind, obviously, US data does come out a little bit later on. Okay, so you got to plan around that. But we're seeing a little bit of movement. Okay. This isn't doing much.
This week, plus the NTSB releases its preliminary report today on the Ohio train derailment. I'm Michael Barr. More ahead.
I'm John Stash out on sports. The Islanders beat the Jets. The Rangers play tonight. College basketball wins for St. John's and Fordham.
That's all straight ahead on Bloomberg Daybreak. On Bloomberg 1130 New York, Bloomberg 99.1 Washington, D.C., Bloomberg 106.1 Boston, Bloomberg 960 San Francisco, Sirius XM 119, and around the world on BloombergRadio.com and via the Bloomberg Business app.
Alright, so we're moving our SL on 1 inch to break even. So, nice.
Bloomberg S&P futures up 0.4% or 16 points. Dow futures up 0.25% or 83 points, and Nasdaq futures up 0.7% or 84 points. And the 10-year Treasury down 5/32, yield 3.93%.
So well done. Now, I mean, oil isn't making too much of a move, so we'll let that one kind of do its thing. Hopefully we can get a nice break off here. Now, if we start to rebound, start to kind of push and break through short-term structure just here, then yeah, that's our kind of signal to get out. So hopefully we can make that nice dip. That would be a nice move. Now, yeah, as you can see, obviously we're kind of getting a little bit of structure being built here on the dollar. So we'll see whether make that break. Yeah, not too much movement on that data.
Policy rate are almost fully pricing in quarter-point increases at each of the central bank's next 3 meetings.
Well, Nathan, the Fed and investors will have a couple more key economic reports to analyze this morning. Revised data on fourth quarter economic growth and weekly jobless claims. And Bloomberg's Vinny Del Giudice has more.
In its initial tally, the government said the U.S. economy expanded at a 2.9% pace in the fourth quarter, slower than the third quarter, but respectable nonetheless. Bloomberg Economics says today's revised data could signal weakness in trade, but the headline will remain healthy. Turn Turning to the labor market, jobless claims have held below 200,000 for 5 weeks, running at historic lows. That's the U.S. economy's best protection against recession. Vinny Tails, today's Bloomberg Daybreak.
All right, Vinny, thank you. Meantime, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the economy around the world is improving.
It's fair to say that the global economy is in a better place today than many predicted just a few months ago.
Hopefully we can get that break. If we start to struggle through here, then yeah, probably going to build up, I'll pull back, build up some structure ahead of that US data.
Also says the U.S. intends to quickly nominate a candidate to lead the World Bank. The official nominating process to replace current President David Malpass begins today.
Well, back here in the U.S., Nathan, we're seeing further signs of weakness in one of the key sectors of the economy, the housing market. According to real estate brokerage Redfin, the total value of homes...
Yeah, thank you for the likes on the stream, guys. Thank you for the follows. Now, as mentioned, obviously, we've gone in short on oil. Now it's kind of struggling a little bit, so we do need a move relatively soon. We've also taken a short here. Okay, this is at break even now, so risk free. Now, again, this is something that you could potentially take if you want to take.
It suggests that its push into artificial intelligence processors is helping offset weakening demand for personal computer chips. The company has parlayed its dominance of graphics processors into a strong position in the growing market for AI hardware. Its chips excel at the kind of parallel processing that allows computers to make sense of large amounts of data and train software to make decisions. In New York, Charlie Pellet, Bloomberg Daybreak.
All right, Charlie, thank you. Well, turning to geopolitics now.
BTC touched the 200 EMA on 5 minute. I'm looking for a close below. Don't really. Okay, yeah, you got your EMA. I got an SMA on Bitcoin. There's kind of a level here of support. So, I mean, you see kind of what's happening. Still got a little bit of movement. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the dollar, obviously we're at resistance, so we do need to kind of make a move. If we break beneath here, then yeah, that's also kind of a signal to get out. So I guess we shall see shortly.
I've not seen anything, we've not seen anything where there's a change in his posture and what they're doing. The idea that somehow this means they're thinking of using nuclear weapons, international continental ballistic missiles, there's no evidence of that.
President Biden spoke with ABC News at the end of his trip to Eastern Europe, where he bolstered NATO nearly a year into the war in Ukraine.
And finally, Nathan, a look at the lack of gender equality in the workplace. In the UK, only 1 in 10 who run Britain's portfolios are women. Now, veteran investor Helena Morrissey is setting her sights on tackling the lack of women in top finance jobs. As part of a special report, Morrissey's been speaking to us about her new Pathway program and why diversity efforts so far have failed to move the needle.
I do think there's an image problem that people look and they think, oh, fund management's not for me. It'll be very isolated to be a woman. It's kind of macho environment. And I think there is still there a bit of a sort of cultural impediment as well. I think
Yeah, let's see. I mean, making a little bit of a move. Hopefully we get continuation here. This is slightly... Now we kind of need to bear in mind, obviously we're kind of moving within a slight range here. Okay. So, yeah. Let's see how it kind of reacts. Saw a little bit of a reaction here. Let's see whether we can continue. But yeah, it might chase liquidity all the way at the top here. There's quite a decent amount of liquidity around that $75 mark.
That touched down in parts of Mercer County, New Jersey Tuesday. The EF2 tornado had estimated winds of up to 115 miles per hour and tore a destructive path for almost 6 miles. The cleanup continues today. As you mentioned, Nathan, a massive winter storm is pummeling the central U.S. It has dumped record amounts of snow and canceled hundreds of flights. Storm warnings and advisories stretch across almost the entire northern U.S., with blizzard warnings in Minnesota and the Chicago area and ice may dangerous road conditions. This motorist is an Antioch.
Alright, we're closing this off. Yeah, we're just gonna get out nice and quick. It's not really moving. I mean, Bitcoin's at this kind of level or previous structure, so probably looking at a little bit of a rebound. Yeah, I mean, look at it. So yeah, we're in and out quick time. No need to faff around here.
Yesterday, former President Trump was in East Palestine.
Weeks since Americans have been inspired, they've just watched this over the weeks. They've been inspired by your strength and your courage and how you come together to
Yeah.
stand up
Okay.
for family.
Okay. So we'll look elsewhere, see if we can get anything else. Well, I mean, that's made a nice move, hasn't it? Jesus.
Orange County Sheriff John Mina says the suspect in all three shootings, 19-year-old Keith Melvin Moses, is in custody.
At 19, he has a lengthy criminal history to include gun charges, aggravated battery and assault with a deadly weapon, burglary, and grand theft charges.
Sheriff Mina says it's unclear if he was targeting the news crew. A pack of headphone thieves are on the loose in Manhattan. According to the NYPD, they are riding through on mopeds and yanking Apple AirPods Max headphones off unsuspecting pedestrians' heads. They're struck more than 20 times less than a month. Global news 24 hours a day, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in over 120 countries. I'm Michael Barr. This is Bloomberg Nate.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, as we're expecting US data, just checking out some of these FX pairs. Now, this is at trend line. Seeing relatively low sell side coming in on here as well, so could maybe get a break. Seeing some nice buy side, very weak sell side here. So this is definitely one that we can keep an eye on. Could start continuing to compress and maybe get that breakout.
Over Providence and St. John's having a rough year, but Red Storm got a win at Georgetown, 79-70. Also, locally, Fordham survived a scare at Loyola, winning by 2, and the Rams go to 22-6 on the season. Iona has won 20 games. It's interesting to see if the Gales hold.
Well, there's a nice quick 25% on 1 inch, so not too bad, and got out at perfect time because it's literally just gone straight back up to break even anyway. So yeah, nice.
TV ratings for last Sunday's NBA All-Star Game, lowest ever. Denver's Michael Malone coached the game, called it the worst basketball game ever played. The
Try and
NBA
see.
will return to playing some defense as it returns from the break tonight. Knicks and Nets have road games tomorrow. Rangers, couple of losses since that 7-game win streak they played tonight in Detroit. Islanders last night beat Winnipeg 2-1 on a Simon Holtztrue goal midway through the third period. John Stashower, Bloomberg Sports. Thank you.
Okay, John, thank you. The Bloomberg Sports Report was brought to you by Audi. Don't let someone else drive off in the Audi model you've always wanted. Visit your local Tri-State Audi dealer to get behind the wheel of yours today, or
I need this to come down.
for more information. More on the latest Fed minutes just ahead. First, futures are higher this morning.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna scout out some trades over between now and the US data to be released this afternoon. But apart from that, guys, yeah, well, we caught a nice quick short. I mean, it wasn't exactly huge, but profit is profit at the end of the day, right? So yeah, well done for getting involved. Thank you very much for joining us, most of all. And yeah, we'll be live again for the New York Open. Now, obviously, because we're expecting US data, we're going to come in a little bit before. So, yeah, expect us to come in about 1 o'clock UK time. Yeah, and then we'll stick it through, see if we can get some nice trades. Yeah, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day if I don't see you later on. Yeah, have a lovely day. And, yeah, take care. Cheers.